everybody, welcome back to Art a la Carte, and today is another Smart Art box. It's always so much fun to open these up and see what that monthly challenge is going to be, what new thing we're going to learn, and it looks like this month is all about the mandalas. I'm not so great at mandalas, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But as always, Smart Art includes a booklet pamphlet that tells you a little bit about the history of the art form, gives you some insider tips and tricks, a listing of all the supplies that they include in the box, and then a visual and verbal instruction step-by-step lesson plan for you to complete a project. Also inside the box is pretty much everything you need to complete the full piece that you need. I found that in this art box there were two things that I had to use from my own studio supplies, but they were really easy to find, and everything else was included. So let's jump in and look at the supplies that they sent in this month's box. Lots and lots of different types of pens. I was really surprised at how many different types they sent. There were gel pens and markers and glitter pens and paint pens, and none of them I had ever owned before. A few of them I've actually really wanted to try that brand, so I was excited to see if I like them. I do have other selections of gel pens and glitter pens in my collection, so I will be testing, especially the glitter pens, against some of the other brands of glitter pens that I have. Color It brand gel pens that have a glitter pen selection, and then I have the Copic Spica brand, and so we're going to test and see how their glitter pens stack up to the competition. For those of you who don't know what the Smart Art box is, it is a monthly art subscription box. It is not a cheap way to get art supplies, as we talked about in our last video. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link to that at the end of this video. But it is an art experience. They take an art medium or art project, and it's like a class in a box. For me, it really helps to get me out of my comfort zone and try new things that I normally might not try. But mandalas are something that I have tried, but I've never been good at. So I'm hoping that there are some tips and tricks that they have to help me maybe get a better understanding of how to create them. But first, let's do a swatch of all the pens. So the first two gel pens were a Pentel brand called Milky. I also did a little research as far as how much the retail is and if I could get it on a special discount or sale price. I put those prices up there in the corner just kind of so you guys can see the value of the actual art supplies that you get in the box. The next two pens we have are a Pentel sign pen, and I found that both the Milky gel pens and the sign pens both had really amazing flow and very vibrant colors. With gel pens, there's always that issue that they might clog up, and so I'm curious to see if while I use them, if they clog up or not. So for those of you who have been around this channel for a while know that I love myself some sparkly glitters. So I was very interested to see how well these sparkle glitter pens from Pentel worked. And I have to say, the blue one knocked my socks off because not only is this beautiful, vibrant blue, kind of oceany blue color, but the glitter inside is kind of green. So it makes this turquoise kind of sheen, which is beautiful. The black one, at first I was not all excited about because it was a black pen and it kind of had this reddish glow to it. And I wasn't super excited about it, but it grew on me because this black with this red glitter in there turned out to be lovely, especially in my mandala. But I wanted to test these up. How did they stack up against my other glitter pens? So like I said before, I use Color It glitter pens, which have a nice gel with glitter included. And then the other one is my Spica brand. Now, I've never had any trouble with Color It. I love the gel pens. I love the glitter that they have in them. Spica, I love when I can get them to work. And I don't know if I've just had super bad luck or not, but I have owned about 7 or 8 of these pens, bought them from different places, and within just a few days, they always dry up. It's not that I don't keep the caps on tight. I always store them just like I do everything else, and they dry up on me. And so I end up having to refill them with a little bit of colorless blender. It rehydrates them and allows me to use them for a little bit, but I don't know why. So if you have any tips on how to keep your Spicas running correctly, let me know in the comment section below. I think I would like the Spica a little bit better if I can get my Spicas to work, but at least for me, the color combinations from the Pentel were amazing. The last ones to look at were the Posca paint pens. I've never used Posca, but it was something that I've always heard a lot of other artists use, and I was excited to try them out. And they both work as fabulous as you would expect. Last but not least, I wanted to test out the pencil that had a very dark lead, and usually that means that it's going to smear really, really bad, but I found that it didn't smear hardly at all. So awesome on the old pencil. So let's jump in to the operation of the mandala, and using some of the tips and tricks that they gave me in the pamphlet, I found it a lot easier. But just be warned, I am not good at drawing mandalas. The main reason is because it's all about making things uniformed. I love creating details and patterns, but if I have to make that same pattern all the way around, it's not going to be pretty. When I create butterflies, it is so hard for me to get the butterfly patterns to even be similar on each wing. So creating a mandala was hard, but they had some really good tips on cutting the circle into like a pie shape and creating that first on that one slice of pie, and then going around and then creating out, and also creating little circles inside the big circle to help keep things a little bit more symmetrical. I found the 2 art supplies that I used that weren't included in the box were an eraser, which I had plenty of erasers, and something to create circles with. I used just some wooden rings that I have, but a compass would work fabulous, and I think I would have a better success if I did use a compass because I would have everything measured out equally and all that. So for tip for next time, try a compass. Now, at first, I wasn't too excited about the color choices. Orange is not one of my favorite colors for using in things, but I found that the contrast between all the colors really worked well, and all the different markers that they used, some being very pale and some being dark and some being glittery, gave this whole creation a really nice balance. That being said, I don't really enjoy doing mandalas. I know there are people that really do love them, and I love watching people create them. I love looking at them, but for me, it's not very fun. So I'm excited that everything that I got in this month's box doesn't have to be mandala related. Oh, by the way, you guys are probably wondering, why am I not using the really cool sketchbook that they gave me, which I showed really quickly in my little show off part at the beginning of this video. And that's because it was such a cool sketchbook, I didn't want to ruin it with one of my ugly mandalas. So I'm saving it for something cool that might be coming up in the future. So if you want to know what that is, make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on those videos. Hit that little bell icon, that way you'll get notifications every time I upload new videos. But here is my finished mandala, and I have to say, of all the mandalas that I've ever done, this one probably turned out the best. I do believe that the little orange things look like carrots. Is it just me, or do you guys think they look like carrots? They look like carrots to me. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out in this video. Also, a big thanks to Smart Art Box for sponsoring this video and helping me to continue to create fun content. If you want more information about Smart Art, I'll leave a link to their website in the description box below. You can check them out. And if you guys create mandalas or anything fun like that, make sure to share them on social media and tag me in your photos. All my social media links are in the description box below. Well, once again, thanks for hanging out with me. God bless you guys, and we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye!